Welcome back to the KickNPost YouTube channel and podcast with your hosts Jamal Thompson and
Hello, everyone. It's Matthew.
and Matt. And we're gonna hop into Steelers coverage first this time. It is Teal and Steel episode 3. We're gonna go over the Steelers first because they played Thursday night football against the Cleveland Browns. Was labeled as possibly a sleeper of a game, a snoozer. But what do you think? How do you think that turned out for y'all?
I think for the Steelers, it went amazing, and I'm really happy with everything that I saw.
Hi, Lily. Is Lily making an appearance?
Hello.
But yeah, you were happy with everything you saw?
No, we were absolutely trash. I was really upset to see everything that I saw.
How do you feel about you were defending Mitchell Trubisky?
Well, I think everybody likes to panic, including you. People like to panic, and they're like, 2 weeks in, let's have our rookie quarterback that not a lot of people even believe in just start. I'm not going to be like that. Mitchell Trubisky's a veteran. Why do we have him there? Tell me, why do we have him there?
Veteran, as if this man's like accomplished anything in the league yet.
Yeah, you're right. But still, here's the thing. I wanted to believe for another week, and it's hard for me to really believe in him now. I do think it's Kenny Pickett time, unfortunately. I really hope it's not too soon for him.
What about panicking?
I'm not panicking, but I'm just like, he hasn't shown anything. We have people like George Pickens. We got Deontay Johnson. We got athletes out there that are really good, and we're not getting them the ball. We got to roll with Kenny Pickett. I hope it's not too early. I'm not going to be the one that said this is going to be a game-changing decision and everything's going to change. Kenny Pickett's going to change the world for everything. He may be just as bad as Mitchell Trubisky or even worse. But I do think it's at the point where we got to see what he does. We just got to see. So until Mitchell Trubisky can show me something a little better, you got to be able to get at least 200 yards a game. Throw a tutty.
He got to 207. We were wrong in our prediction in terms of him being under 199, I think it was at the time.
Yeah, but it took forever. And
it took a final drive of like literally chasing nothing. He took garbage time. It would still count for the bet, but he did not look good for 95% of this game.
It did not look good. I mean, there's a video with George Pickens out there getting frustrated. I can't even blame him because that man was wide open.
Yeah.
So I do think it's Kenny Pickett time. I know I was saying last week give Mitchell Trubisky another week, which I'm not technically wrong about. I did say give him another week. Now we have seen that he did the same thing the first 2 weeks, so let's go ahead and give Kenny Pickett some time. Now, unfortunately, your Jags are looking kind of nice. I can't lie. They're looking nice. They're looking like they're official. What are your thoughts about them?
2-1, AFC South leaders beating the Los Angeles Chargers in LA. So one of our first road wins since, I think, 2019. We haven't won since we played the Oakland Raiders with Gardner Minshew as our starter in 2019. That was our last road win. 2-1. Defense is flying all over the field. That's all I can say. Very active on defense. Very in man-to-man. We're playing good coverage. Devin Lloyd has been the steal of the year. We got him at the 32 pick in the first round. He's been all over the field. I think he has 2 interceptions already on the year. Tackle for losses, going crazy. Trevon Walker rushing the line. It's beautiful on the defensive end. And then on offense, we are clicking. I still think we have our struggles in the red zone a bit, but we're scoring from outside of the red zone. Travis Etienne, I know he's still not doing much on a fantasy perspective, but if you watch these games, a lot of burst, looks very athletic, gets out in space. I think he's averaging like 4.5 yards per carry or something. Pretty solid behind the Jags O-line.
Pretty solid except fantasy.
Yeah, fantasy, it's not worth it. If you have him in redraft,
for now,
depending where you took him, which we talked 4th, 5th round, it is a bit of a struggle. James Robinson, again, I need to find out who did his Achilles surgery because this man did not lose a step. I still think he looks a little bit sluggish. I still think outside of the big plays, you see like a lack of burst, but he just makes it happen.
He does.
I'm a fan of the kid. I'm glad he's on my team. Christian Kirk, in fantasy, wide receiver 6 overall. Not scored under 15 points in fantasy so far.
I feel like he scored a touchdown every single game this year so far.
Pretty much. I think he had a 2-touchdown game last week. We got Trevor Lawrence turning into the Trevor Lawrence we expected. It's all positives right now for the Jags. I truly think we win the AFC South. People are saying you're getting ahead of yourself. But this team looks really good. If you watch them play, if you were to remove the jerseys and just put them out there to play, no one would guess this is the Jags team if you were just looking at them like blankly. If they're just unknowns on the field. We look really good on offense, really good on defense, and the Colts still haven't figured it out. The Titans still don't look the best on offense, and Houston's still kind of struggling on the offensive side as well.
Yeah.
Granted, Colts did beat the Chiefs this week. Titans did beat the Raiders this week. AFC South went 3-0 against the AFC West. Just saying. I think we have an opportunity to win the division and make it to the playoffs after having back-to-back first overall picks, which I think would be good for the franchise. So I want to take it easy, but at the same time, nah.
I mean, y'all are looking nice. I can't lie, but I will say, once the Colts figure it out, which they've kind of slowed, like they already look like they have. I just need what's his name to be giving me points in fantasy.
Jonathan Taylor.
I said this last week. I'm gonna say this week. What's going on? What's happening? I think I looked and we had like 14 carries. What we doing? We
got 71 yards.
We gotta give this man like 50 carries a game. Like that's what I want. All right. I don't care about all that. But anyways, Matt Ryan looking kind of old though, so who knows? I'm not going to go there yet when they say that they're going to win the division just yet. There's still the Jags. There's still Buns. Nah,
2-1.
I'm just playing.
We have a big challenge.
I just hate that right now. Your team is doing good. My team's looking like Buns. I'm just starting to hate that a little bit. But they have been looking impressive.
The reason is Teal and Steel and not Steel and Teal, if you know what I'm saying.
They have been looking impressive, and I got to give you props. Trevor Lawrence is looking like that guy, like everyone thought he was going to be. Everyone's looking good. I mean, even like the second wide receivers, Marvin Jones, Zay Jones
is doing work. I roasted us for that decision. We paid him $10 million. I was hot. I was upset.
You were. I remember you texted me about it.
But he showed out last game, 7 for 72 and a tutty. I think he had a touchdown.
Just like a little sneak peek. I'm trying to pick him up in fantasy right now.
I think it's worth it, depending on what you're looking for. There's other guys I like better, which we could go over like a little waiver wire pickup thing before the show is out. But I think the offense, if it keeps clicking, which I don't know if y'all tuned into our other content, but on the Jags video, I made a bet with Chris. Our positional players would outscore the Chiefs' positional players. So I said, Juju's going to get outscored by Kirk. Okay. I believe that our secondary receivers would have better years than the Chiefs' secondary receivers. The only person I thought that would outproduce anybody on the Jags was Travis Kelce.
Yep.
So far, I'm kind of been spot on. CEH has produced a decent amount, but
I don't think he can keep it up though. But
if you look at the underlying stats, he still hasn't led the backfield in snaps the entire year. He's literally living off of like receptions and touchdowns. That's bound to regress. You would think.
At some point.
But then James Conner had the year he had last year, so you never know if these things will actually regress. He could just keep scoring.
I wouldn't say that they're the same.
No, they're not.
James Conner still had, he's the bulk of the carries, the bulk of the touches. He gets the red zone work, whereas someone like CEH does not get that. Pacheco gets put in there. McKinnon's on there for three down rolls. And also, people don't talk about it, but James Conner does catch the ball a little bit. This man gets 4 catches at least a game. So
I was talking more last year, though, like earlier last year, when he was just falling into the end zone.
I thought you were talking about just like overall.
No.
I was like, man, come on.
I'm talking like when it was him and Chase Edmonds. And
I got
Chase Edmonds was getting a lot of the work, but he was falling into the end zone. I feel like CEH is doing a lot of the red zone work, catching balls on valuable drives, but still not getting the bulk of the touches. Yeah. Which the Chiefs are already a team that don't run the ball that much. So it's not positive for him to be on the field that little. So I've seen people sell CEH. I'm also on the sell CEH board.
That's why I mentioned that there's a league that we're in that somebody actually went out to go get CEH, and I feel like they paid quite a bit just to have him. So
and it was Dynasty too, wasn't it?
Dynasty,
which
I mean, CEH is younger, but I mean, giving up a second round pick, and what else did they give up?
I don't think he's going to get cut, but I don't think he gets a second contract. Darrell Henderson.
Yeah, and I feel like in a way they could almost at the end of the year have around the same amount of points,
same value too.
Yeah, so. I don't know if I love that. I feel like it's kind of overpaying for him, but
you got to do what you got to do if you feel like Darrell Henderson is going to score you more points in the back end. For that team is rebuilding. They said got the second round pick as well. I don't think IMD Wavy was unbeaten or anything like that. It's still early in the year, so they could still end up with that being an early pick. Or
IMD Wavy is still. I think he's still undefeated.
He is.
I think he's still undefeated.
If he's 3-0 and he keeps that pace, then that's a back end second. Which at that point.
Yeah, but if he keeps it up, and at the same time, you're also giving up Darrell Henderson, and pretty much like 1 for 1, and then throwing in a pick. I think it's overpaying a little bit. It's not crazy though, but just a little bit to me.
I would have probably rocked with the Darrell Henderson second round side.
I think you could get a little bit more than CEH for a second round pick in Darrell Henderson, in my opinion.
Oh, like you could get a better player?
I think you could have got a little bit of a better player. I don't know what
So,
I don't know
who
what
would
his
you shoot
options were. Someone that gets more of the touches. I mean, I can't think of something on the top of my head, but a second round pick. Trying to think.
Second round pick and Darrell Henderson in an offense.
Would you say that Cam Akers would have been a better option?
If he could have acquired him, yeah, because then you have both guys. Well, actually, no, you'd be giving up Darrell Henderson for Cam Akers.
So that wouldn't make sense.
I wouldn't really want that.
Trying to think.
How about? Because honestly, CEH kind of holds the value of a valuable backup. I know that sounds wild, but like I feel like you could get Chase Edmonds for Darrell Henderson and a second. And
would you want to do that?
I would take that over CEH. I think that offense is quite explosive right now. I know Raheem Mostert's kind of like overtaken him in terms of like, again, valuable touches, but Chase Edmonds is on an offense that's more likely to use him.
Yeah.
Then
he did score me 2 touchdowns last week.
I
was forced to start him in 2 of my leagues.
That's what I'm saying. If you get him in an offense that is clearly moving the ball pretty well, right? They have so much to worry about in Waddle and Hill. He could fall into the end zone. Like he end up in the red zone more often than a CEH. And he has less competition. It's Raheem Mostert and him. CEH has 2 other players that he's competing with in that area. So I would make that move for Chase Edmonds, especially if I'm trying to win this year.
I feel like I got a good one. What about Kareem Hunt?
For sure. I would for sure take that over.
I feel like that would have been a better option for him to try to go out and get. Definitely. I don't know if he would have been able to, but I do think that would have been a better option. I think he had some other options out there he could have gone. I think he was 3-0 and he was just kind of excited and he wanted to get somebody else to solidify it.
That's what he said. He wanted to solidify it.
But I mean, we'll see. He could be right. I mean, if CH keeps it up, we'll be looking back at this and I feel like an idiot. But I just don't see it. I don't love split backfields.
I don't love the Chiefs' offense either this year.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I know they're 2-1, lost to the Colts last week, but I'm still not sold on an offense that outside of Travis Kelce does not have a solidified number 1 receiver.
No, I get that. I still think there's going to be enough opportunities. I'm not going to say that the Chiefs' offense is bad, but I don't love split backfields, and the fact that they're splitting it between 3 backs is concerning to me. He's not getting some of the valuable touches in the passing game, whereas Jerick McKinnon's getting it. Pacheco's getting some good touches in the red zone. It just a lot of things are happening with CH that people aren't really seeing because they're seeing the stat line, they're seeing the fantasy points, and they think he's going crazy. I'm not big on him yet, but we could be wrong. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know what you were saying, but
when I say I don't like the offense, yes, they're producing well enough to win games right now, and they're in a division where Denver hasn't figured it out. LA definitely hasn't figured it out. The Chargers are dealing with Herbert with a broken rib and Austin Eckler, who's struggling behind a line
we'll talk about at some point today.
Exactly. That lost Rashawn Slater, so one of their better linemen went down for the year. So they're already struggling to run the ball with Eckler, and now they have one of their best linemen out for the rest of the year. So even though their offense isn't what it used to be, it might be serviceable enough for them to win the division. But I'm not sold on it. Juju has had his up games and he has his down games. Last game was more of an upside game.
I mean, Juju was what I kind of expected from Juju. He's a high reception guy. That's exactly what he's been. The first game he had 8 reception.
That's the problem.
He's not the wide receiver 1.
He is.
Travis Kelce is.
But that's the problem.
That's not the problem. You can't sit here and say, though, that one of the elite tight ends of our generation, you can't compare him to a receiver. I think he can be comparable to a receiver. He is the number 1 receiver over there. And Juju ain't no slouch. He's still 8 catches first game. I mean, I am a Steelers fan, so I could be a little biased. But he still had 8 catches for like 70, 80 yards first game. Second game, I'm not going to lie, it was a bust. But then
1 for 10.
But then third week, and nothing crazy, but 6 catches for I think like 50 or 60 yards, something like that.
He had a touchdown.
So it's nothing crazy, but that's kind of what you kind of have to expect from a Juju. I'm not expecting, what was it, 2018 with AB and Big Ben?
No, but again,
I'm not expecting that.
You had an AB on the edge.
Exactly. So,
like, Travis Kelce's not drawing any crazy coverage away from your receivers. Like, love Travis Kelce, again, all-time talent at tight end, but he's still a tight end. And he's not like a Kyle Pitts-built tight end, or like even a Mark Andrews-built tight end. He's bigger, he's slower, he runs good routes, but he's not going to challenge anybody downfield crazy. So he's not opening up things for the receivers. What's up?
I'm happy you brought this up. What'd you say week 1?
Oh, Mark Andrews?
About Travis Kelce? Is Travis Kelce and what? Nobody else?
I said, that wasn't me. I said people were overreacting that Travis Kelce was the only valuable tight end in the draft.
I was about to get a little aggressive.
I realized that.
Mark Andrews is that guy.
Yeah, he is.
Can we talk about him?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, he's been balling.
Is that my team?
I was about to say, you have him on a couple teams. I feel like you're excited.
You have him in Lamar Jackson, so you should be feeling good too.
I have him duo. Beautiful team. That's it. Am I not 1-2 in that league? Is that the league that I have them both?
Would you be 1-2? You have Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson. Is the rest of your team just straight
like
trash?
I'm 1-2.
I want to say you're 2-1. Is this a league where it has like that weird like median thing and like?
Oh wait, if it's that league, I'm 6-0. I have not lost.
Oh yeah, you're 6-0, and guess what I am? I'm like 1-5. I'm like okay. Before I like call myself out like that, I'm 3-0 and 2-1. And yeah, now when I'm like 1-6,
I'm not going down the list.
Which 1-5 or 1-6 sounds bad to everybody listening.
1-5, yeah.
But it's like this weird setting thing. I haven't really fully understand it yet.
Median, you have to have like you get an extra win against the median score of the league.
Look,
or an extra loss. Yeah,
this is like math, bro.
This is algebra class. Yeah.
But yeah, I am like 1-5. My team's kind of buns. But you know, it is what it is.
I think that what do I have in that league that has me going crazy? I'm gonna have to double check that. Lily making a vocal appearance now. Gotta love it. Gotta love your dogs. But yeah, in that league, Saquon snapped for me last night. I think I do have Lamar. I have Lamar in a lot of places.
You're taking on Lamar in a lot of places.
I have Lamar,
and I'm jealous for it. But you know who I have?
Who?
You know who I have.
Okay, let's talk because I said the Jags have a tough challenge coming up. A really, really tough challenge coming up in the Eagles this week.
A really tough match.
We go out to Philly this week to play them, which I saw. Tickets are $11. That's disrespectful.
Is it at Jacksonville?
No, it's in Philly.
Oh, that's disrespectful.
$11 for your 3-0 team, and Jacksonville that's 2-1.
It's probably because it's the Jags. No offense.
But it's 2-1. That should adjust.
Does it?
It should. Like, you guys should be buying up these tickets and reselling them.
Can they just do that? Can they just, before the season, obviously, no disrespectful, but it's the Jags, but then now they're 2-1, so people really going to be bumping up prices for that? Is that actually happening?
Yeah, like, you could buy the tickets and resell them, because you know, one, the Jags are competitive. Players in Philadelphia would come through. Well, not players. Fans in Philadelphia of the Jags would come through. Philly, being 3-0, $11 a ticket. Like I was saying, Jags fans should be willing to buy these tickets up and go attend us finally in a winning season. Yes, I don't think it'll be a good game for the Jags because Jalen Hurts.
My boy. Hey, you got to attest right now.
Yeah.
I have been on this since day one. I have been a Jalen Hurts fan from day one.
You wanted the Pittsburgh Steelers to draft him.
I wanted the Steelers to draft him.
In the second round, yeah.
We didn't.
Imagine that.
Now look at us. Mitch Trubisky, baby.
Imagine Jalen Hurts
baby.
behind that line.
I mean, it would be all right. And then that's a second round pick, too.
He moves,
so we could have, we
could have gotten a lineman this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
Yeah, the what ifs.
The what ifs. You guys could have gotten the kid who's playing really good for Dallas right now. Tyler Smith, I think is his name, out of Tulsa.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. You're talking about Cooper Rush.
No. No.
I was like,
no, I'm talking lineman. I'm talking lineman. You could have definitely gotten Tyler Smith, and it would have been a better move for y'all than Kenny. And you would have had.
Well, we don't know that yet. Hold on, don't be saying all that. I didn't say that. Okay, would I take Jalen Hurts right now? Even like before the season started, over Kenny Pickett? Yes. Last year, over Kenny Pickett? Yeah. There's like no version that I wouldn't take Jalen Hurts unless this man has something bad happen to him. I'm still taking Jalen Hurts. He could lose a leg, and I'd probably still take him. Like, I don't care. I don't care. Like, I like Jalen Hurts.
This man, what was his stats? I think he's the first quarterback to have over 900 passing yards and 150 rushing yards in the first 3 games of the season. Some crap like that. He's balling.
Hey, he's that guy. And he threw a pick like week 2, and it wasn't even his fault. So he pretty much, in my mind, has no picks.
Has no picks?
He has no picks in my mind. So
Devontae Smith. I know you saw that stat line last week, which my league mates don't watch my content. But in a league, somebody dropped Devontae Smith after week 2.
No, that's crazy.
No, after week 1. They dropped Devontae Smith to pick up, I don't even remember who. They dropped him to pick somebody up after week 1. I was like, this can't be real. He's going to be like, this was a mistake. He did not say that. He was okay dropping it. Everybody was like, huh?
Did they put that in the comment section?
Yeah, everybody was like, what's going on? He's like, don't want him. Okay. So I dropped $85 out of my $100 of fab to make sure that I got Devontae Smith. Somebody
What was
bid
the second one?
56 or something like that. Somebody bid $3, and somebody didn't bid $1 at all and expected to get Devontae Smith. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm stingy with my fab. So
Devontae Smith on the
but
waivers.
no, Devontae Smith though I would.
He's like an 8th round pick minimum.
I put I think 22 on Curtis Samuel. So yeah, for Devontae Smith.
I was about to say what?
But here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be real. I did say before the season started that I wasn't drafting Devontae Smith. I didn't hate him.
You did say that. Yeah.
I didn't hate him. I like the player. I like what he does. But I thought it was going to be a lot more run heavy and what we saw from Jalen Hurts last year. I'm a big believer. But now they got A.J. Brown. I was like, it's a lot of mouths to feed. So
he feeding them though.
But
last week he was feeding them though. He was slinging. Oh,
he was. So I was wrong about Devontae Smith. So I apologize.
Devontae Smith, if you're watching.
Yeah, I apologize.
We're sorry.
That's my bad.
What was it? 8 for 134 and two touchdowns.
Something. But the thing is, though, is his tutty.
Yeah, give me that.
The cash before that.
Give me that too. Yeah,
give me that.
So what's wild is A.J. Brown still produced last week. You got 17 points out of him.
And I was kind of down on A.J. Brown too, to be honest.
Me too, but
I was a little down. I wasn't out on him, but for the second, third round price, I was like, ah.
We were worried because we didn't believe in Jalen Hurts evolving that much as a passer. No. Don't act like you were ahead of it. He's just going to be this good of a passer. You did not expect.
Okay, no, you're right. I didn't say that he was going to be this type of passer.
Exactly.
But I didn't think. Don't make it sound like he's
slight
trash.
Improvement. You expected a slight improvement.
I thought he was going to slight improvement,
but not enough to provide for
with
two wide receivers. Exactly. You were we don't know who's going to be the guy, so you don't spend a second round pick on A.J. Brown. But also, Devontae Smith was you were a little bit hesitant because what if A.J. Brown took his targets?
With Dallas Goedert out there.
Exactly. This man is throwing it all over the field. And it looks beautiful.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
I looked at the highlights, it just looks majestic.
Yeah.
I kind of want to watch the Eagles and Jags game. I think I'm off.
Are you?
I think I am.
Make sure. If you are, we can watch that one.
No, because I think I go. Yeah.
If you are, we can watch that one because I definitely want to see my boys play. I missed this week.
I don't think you're gonna want to see your boys play.
I still do, bro. Our defense is defense is legit.
I will say this. I do think if the Jags can continue doing what they're doing, the Eagles are a hot team right now. I do think it's gonna be a close game. I don't think it's gonna be some Eagles just gonna be.
Here's my thing.
I don't think it's gonna be that.
Darius Slay right now is on another level.
He is.
Darius Slay against Christian Kirk. I'm sorry. I love you, my boy. But Darius Slay held Justin Jefferson to 1 for 10, which, side note, that was Kirk Cousins on prime time. We should have known it was coming. But Darius Slay's been on another level. Now,
there was somebody else who they play last week? It was the Eagles versus. There was somebody else that Darius Slay just clamped up. And I remember seeing a post about it. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to think.
They played last?
Terry McLaurin. Because they played Washington this week that passed. Mm-hmm. And if it wasn't, the first week it was St. Brown.
Maybe I'm getting confused because Terry McLaurin didn't have a bad day.
So. Yeah, it was Detroit week 1, Minnesota week 2, then they played Washington this week.
Yeah, so I'm tripping.
They sacked Carson Wentz 6 times. I'm a little bit worried.
Eventually, we got to talk about Dalvin Cook out there.
What you mean?
Are you concerned?
Not too much, because they said that it's his shoulder got dislocated. It's an AC joint sprain, which he's dealt with before. It's already predicted that he'll wear a brace and play through it. And the last time he did that, he came back on a short week. It was Thursday Night Football. Came back on a short week, ran for 170 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Wait, it wasn't against my Steelers?
Might have been.
I think it was.
He came back on a short week with the same joint sprain.
It was a bad day for me.
And went bananas. So I'm not too worried about it. If he does end up missing time, I'm a little bit hesitant. I'm more worried about DeAndre Swift. He's predicted to miss 5 weeks.
See, I would be worried about him because I was a big DeAndre Swift person going into it, and I have a few shares of him. But I drafted Jamal Williams with him everywhere. So I'm not... I did want to see what DeAndre Swift had, but even with DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams on the same team, Jamal Williams was still able to produce. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's the RB6 or something like that. Yeah,
it's a lot of touchdowns, though. 2 touchdowns last week, 2 touchdowns the first week.
But he had 20 carries for 90, it was either 80 or 90 yards. So the efficiency wasn't crazy, but he's still getting the majority of the touches, and if there's no DeAndre Swift, I'm okay with it. That's why I haven't freaked out about DeAndre Swift. I got his backup, and his backup is pretty good. I'm chilling.
So you're good with it?
Yeah.
I think, for me, I have him in the bash. I have DeAndre Swift in the bash. I'm 2-1. What?
Did you pick up Jamal Williams?
I could not have. So they're too sharp in this league. When I reviewed the draft, one of the main creators on BDGE, Noah, he went 0 RB, but he did something wild. Like, he stacked all the backups in the back end round. So he had, I think he has Khalil Herbert. He has Rashad White. He might have Raheem Mostert. He got Jamal Williams. He got all the backups. I don't think he got Alexander Madison. I think the other, content creator, David Klug, went crazy with the backups, too, because he started off with, CD, Adams, big receivers. So they both have all the backups locked away.
I'm starting to think if that's, the way to go. Because I know we were talking about a week 1.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, now we're looking at CMC not doing a whole lot. Austin Eckler's not doing a whole lot. Even Dalvin Cook hasn't done a whole lot. Derrick Henry, until this past week, hasn't done a whole lot. All these guys have been struggling still. I mean, Derrick Henry had a good last week, but at the same time, I don't know, I'm getting a little concerned. I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to lean more to what you were saying. Maybe have a hero RB strat. Take your guy the first, second round. Get yourself that elite receiver, and just take it. And then once you start getting down to the 8-9 round, get your all the backups like you're saying, the Jamal Williams, the Alexander Madisons, all those guys, the Khalil Herberts, all those guys.
I love Khalil Herbert for a minute too. Yeah. I don't know. I get the angle, but what if you miss on the guys you take, right? So it's always beautiful until it's not, right? True. Everybody's like, oh, this is amazing, until you get the regular weeks from the 0 RB guys, not Cordero Patterson, which I thought it was over. It's clearly not over. Of course, Damian Williams started as the starter. Damian Williams doesn't get hurt. Are we looking at the same usage for Cordero Patterson? We don't know. So you're banking on injuries, you're banking on a lot. And if you miss on those guys, right?
So, but I'm thinking about this, like for example, DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
I was a big believer in him. I took his backups. So what if you were able to do something like a, Stephon Diggs first round?
Mm-hmm.
Get yourself a DeAndre Swift second round, which in some leagues you won't be able to do that. But you definitely could do Saquon Barkley. But
not anymore.
But his backups, I'm thinking about some of those elite backups. You have your Jamal Williams, your Alexander Madisons.
Yeah.
Who's another person?
Khalil Herbert. You said
Khalil Herbert. Those guys. So what if you were able to target a DeAndre Swift, Stephon Diggs? Make sure you get even maybe overpay a little bit, take him a little early, get a Jamal Williams, and then if you take your chances with a few running backs, now you're really just filling in that second RB slot. But you got all these nice receivers. You got Stephon Diggs. You got probably your 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round pick receivers. You can put them in the flex spots. You could probably even take, your tight end that you really want as well. You can take your Mark Andrews if he does fall to the 3rd round. You can get your
Kyle Pitts.
You can get your Kyle Pitts, which I'm not big on, and he still hasn't done anything crazy yet. But
this week showed a lot of promise.
He did.
The Falcons finally got him more than 2 catches and 19 yards, and they won. Crazy to think that if you have a 5th pick, not 5th round pick, the 5th pick in the NFL drafted at tight end, one of the highest drafted tight ends of all time, that's the type of talent he is, that if you utilize him, you could win the game.
The most talented tight end in the league.
Exactly. Isn't that a crazy thought? He wanted to tell people this isn't fantasy, we're trying to win games. You guys were 0-2.
He had to say that. In his back of his head, he's like, give me the damn ball.
0-2. No, that's what the coach said.
Oh.
The coach said, this isn't fantasy, we're trying to win games.
Give it to your best athlete.
I would think, right? And you get him involved this week and you beat the Seahawks. Granted, it's the Seahawks, but still, you guys are the Falcons. So, get the man involved. And I think this is a good step in the right direction. We'll see what next week looks like. But if you were selling on Kyle Pitts, that price is going up now. You were trying to buy, that price is going up now. I think the season's going to be...
I think if you were trying to buy him, I think at this point it might be a little too late.
Yeah.
I think you should have taken advantage of those first 2 weeks. Now, I'm not a big Kyle Pitts fan, so... I like him. I just don't love the offense. I don't love what I've seen so far. Yeah. So I wouldn't go out of my way to buy him, but at the same time, he was a 5th pick in the draft. I'm not going to sleep on him. So...
I respect it. You said you wanted to talk about some people struggling in fantasy.
Let's
talk about 0 RB.
Let's talk about somebody real quick. Austin Eckler.
Oh, gosh.
Let's have a conversation real quick. What the hell?
Step into my
I got you in 2 leagues. What is happening? I don't understand. This man got out-carried by, who was it, Sony Michel? It was only by 1, but still. What are we doing?
That's still egregious. I mean, you could say the game was over. You know, when you're playing the Jags and it's a blowout, you gotta call your rides. You're not gonna be able to come back in that one.
But the thing is, he's not even catching the ball. Like that's where you really. That's why I pick him up, because I think he's gonna be like a safe. I mean, even a bad week, 12 to 15 points. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And with this last week, he didn't do me bad. I think he got me like 18. It might not have been last week. There was one week that he gave me 18.
The week prior, which literally he caught like 8 balls in the last 2 drives, because again they were down and chasing the Chiefs.
Exactly. But the thing is the price that you had to pay for him, the price I had to pay for him. Yeah. I ain't trying to see no 12 points. I don't want to see all that. I got Jamal Williams in like the 11th round, all right? And with DeAndre Swift, he got the same points. I'm not trying to hear that. You better go off, Austin Eckler. I swear to God.
I swear to God. You about to send a message on Instagram?
I don't even know how I'm 3-0 with him on my team, but I'm still 3-0. So imagine if he starts snapping.
You might be able to sell. You trying to sell Eckler?
What, you want him?
Possibly.
Who you got?
I
think it's winners take all.
Oh, that one I'm 2-1, I think.
I'm undefeated now.
I have Khalil Herbert on the bench in that one.
Wait, I just realized I'm undefeated in 2 leagues.
Yeah.
2-1-1, and then 1-5.
Yeah, balance.
Trying to see a little bit of everything.
So Dave Pincus, he's on the podcast. Does a lot of player coverage with me, usually about rookie draft and stuff like that. He has a stance that if you don't have a traditional running back, your team is worse for it. So he thinks Eckler is not a top 10 running back in the NFL because he's smaller and he's a pass catcher and he's not, in his opinion, an elite runner of the football.
He's not wrong.
So his stance is this should have been expected. The reason why, which there's one angle I'll give him the benefit of. The Chargers have been trying to pair a traditional running back with Eckler since way back. They got forced into giving Eckler the running back 1 role when Melvin Gordon held out however many years ago when he was in LA, right? So they were forced to use Eckler in that number 1 role, and he succeeded to a degree. Struggled in the red zone a bit, but succeeded to a degree. They still, every year, they kept Melvin Gordon, re-signed him, right? And then had a traditional running back. They had Sony Michel that they went out and got this year. Before that, they were pumping the Joshua Kellys and the just random people. Drafted Isaiah Spiller.
Right. I don't know why the hell I'm seeing Joshua Kelly on the damn field. I'm seeing a little more than I want to see. I don't get that man off my screen, bro. I don't want to see him.
It's sad, but he's right, though. They always are trying to find a traditional running back to pair with him.
He's not wrong, and I should have. I was really just in love with the pass catching. I was in love with the red zone work. But he's not a great athlete, in my opinion. He's not, when it comes to...
I might have to throw a picture of Austin Eckler.
I mean, okay.
You are true.
Okay, no.
He is a fantastic athlete.
He's not a bad... He's not a great athlete. He's not... Let me take that back. He's just, for what you see in a running back...
He's not your traditional
running
back?
He's not really what I like to see in a running back. I feel like he's a little more sluggish. Doesn't really do a lot of the things I like to look for in a running back. Doesn't really seem to have a burst to him, which is kind of what I like in a running back. I like a running back that can just go. Like Saquon Barkley last night. That little tutty, that run that he did. Took off.
After contact, too. Y'all pay attention to that.
Austin Eckler just, to me, looks kind of... But he gets a lot of the work, got a lot of the pass catching, gets the red zone work. So I'm like, I don't care what that man really be looking like as long as he gets the ball. And then I look and I'm seeing Joshua Kelly on my damn screen. I don't... And then it worries me because Sony Michel look low-key a little better.
He does look
low-key a little better. It's like, I'm like, damn it.
What am I going to do? They're actually producing with these backups, and Eckler's getting breathing time that you don't really want to see. Yeah. Look, the issue, I would pump the brakes a little bit. The offense looks a lot different. Keenan Allen isn't on the field. He should be coming back this week. Mike Williams is not a wide receiver 1. Mike Williams is not a wide receiver 1.
Some people drafted him for the wide receiver.
He's up and down. He's too up and down, and in terms of possession receiving, he still hasn't figured out that part of the game yet. Where he's just a solidified guy that if you need a catch, you can go to him.
So, people were talking about Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and who to draft first.
Yeah.
I know Keenan Allen's been hurt.
Yeah.
But looking at it right now, who would you rather have?
If they're both on the field?
They're both on the field and Keenan Allen's healthy.
Mike Williams. And here's why. Keenan Allen does a lot of that possession stuff, but the offense gets opened up a lot more for those deep shots to Mike Williams. They have to cover Keenan Allen underneath, right? Things get a lot easier for Mike Williams when Keenan Allen's on the field.
It's true.
That's how I see it. So for boom potential, if I was looking for something very stable, Keenan Allen, but I'm very worried, one, about his age, two, about his injury concerns, which have already reared their head this year, right? So, like, in a vacuum, player for player, I like Keenan Allen better. But in fantasy and where you draft them, I would want Mike Williams on my team if they're both healthy and on the field.
Okay.
But
I mean, we'll see. I haven't drafted them anywhere. I drafted Keenan Allen in one league. This is like one of those leagues I don't even care about. Like, it's a free league. It's on ESPN Fantasy.
Ooh,
Let's also talk about that real quick.
Gross.
What are we doing? I feel like an old head. Like, I'm just trying to work it. I think the last time I saw you, I even had you like, hey,
you're like, how do I move this?
How do I do this?
How do I look at my matchup?
I was trying to drop somebody the other day, and like every single player on that list was available to drop. And This dude had like a lock on him.
Yeah, they lock your highest pick so that you can't drop him accidentally, which is not the worst.
No, if I can't drop, then drop the damn dude. I don't want it.
But what if it's like your first overall pick and you accidentally drop him?
I'm not gonna do that.
People do that.
Well, that's tough. That's tough. I don't know what to tell you.
People who play on ESPN Fantasy do that, so they had to put something in place so that it wouldn't happen.
No,
I'm in 2 ESPN Fantasy leagues,
tough.
and I'm very annoyed every time I have to go on the app.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I wish I was playing. I'm not. I don't even know how to check my matchup for next week. I tried for like 15 to 20 minutes. Just look at my matchup. I wanted to see the projection bar. You know what I mean? I wanted to see my, am I going to get whooped? Am I going to win? Who knows? I can't figure it out. Still to this day, I don't know how to set my matchup for next week. I have to wait till like today or tomorrow
for when it clears
to finally see who I'm facing and all that.
Yeah, they don't make it very maneuverable.
Go to Sleeper. If you're using ESPN Fantasy, row up. Okay, go to Sleeper.
That's a fact. Yeah, definitely switch over platforms. They have not innovated in a long time too. Like that app, I started playing fantasy like about 2014, 2015, and it's looked the same from those days to today. The only thing they added is that Bud Light's their sponsor, and now at the end of each week they'd be like, "You crushed it. Have one on us." It's like, I don't care. I want cool. Instead of showing me your sponsor, like, make it easy for me to check matchups, and 2, navigate your waiver wire easier too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like.
So I tried picking somebody up, and I honestly don't even know how they have it when it comes to who gets them first, whatever. They don't have like a fab thing going on.
No.
So I was like, okay, that's cool.
It's all waiver order, which is archaic too, but whatever.
Yeah, so I ain't gonna lie. Like, I tried looking to see, like, okay, I just tried to pick up this one dude. I think, who was it? I want to say it was Khalil Herbert. I wanted to pick him up. So I was like, okay, cool. Claim, add. I hit a little plus button. Happy to see that. It says, okay, process is going through. Cool. In Sleeper, you have like a little notification showing that it's pending. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, where do I find this little thing?
Oh yeah.
So then I tried looking for it. I can't. I still to this day can't find it. I'm just hoping that in the next couple of days he's on my bench.
The worst part about it too is like it doesn't tell you anything about like obviously you could check your waiver order, but it'll just show up in the transactions and sometimes it'll notify you, sometimes it won't. Like you'll just have to go back and check the app and be like, oh, I didn't get them.
Yeah. Which I mean, this is a league that I guess I don't care about, and I don't think anybody in that league even really knows football like that. So I'm sure I'm going to get him, but I swear
you probably are going to get him.
I swear if
it's the league you're telling me about, you probably are going to get him.
Which by the way, I'm 1-2.
That's depressing. That's depressing.
But no, it auto ordered. They did it when I was at work.
I know. But
I auto picked 4 people for me.
It's an 8-team league, man.
So, I know, but everybody else got. And I went like 2 back-to-back really good running backs, and they haven't been doing that good for me.
Derrick Henry, who?
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, that's a rough start. I apologize.
It is what it is. It's a free league.
Single quarterback. It is. Yeah. Like you said, it's a free league. It is what it is.
I was really upset I got Amari Cooper in that league.
Are you
Not
still?
upset no more.
That boy balled.
Feeling nice now.
That boy
I meant to
balled. Do that. Where did he go? He went super late in drafts too. You can get him like 7th, 8th round.
Oh no, that was crazy. And some people were like, really trying to make that okay. I never understood that. Like,
even with the Watson suspension and him having to play with Brissett, you thought that was okay?
Yeah. Here's why though, because I think that you also have to think about the end of the year. You take a lot of these rookie running backs for that kind of stuff. I think with something like that, who else is Deshaun Watson going to throw the ball to? But I get it though. We don't really know how Deshaun Watson's going to look when he gets back. He could be.
Amari has disappointed too in the past.
He has,
based on like health and stuff. But
I think as somebody to get in the 7th, 8th round, come on.
Yeah,
that's a snag.
He was the only guy in Cleveland to throw the ball to. Njoku.
Which little sneak peek. I'm trying to scoop him in one of my leagues too.
Have him on the bench in one of my leagues this week.
Oh,
I think I still won, but they hurt.
The league that I'm 1-5 in, I had Isaiah McKenzie and Tyler Boyd on my bench.
I mean, are you ever starting amazing. Tyler Boyd though?
Yeah.
Would you start him this week?
I started
Dolphins matchup Thursday Night Football.
I started Tyler Boyd last week. I did.
Really?
In Winners Take All, the league that I'm undefeated.
Really? So are you starting him this week against Miami?
Fine. But it's because Mike Evans was suspended, so I kind of had to put somebody in there. I don't hate it, though. I don't hate starting him.
I think Mike Evans this week.
Who they playing?
The Dolphins. On Thursday Night Football.
Say that one more time.
Short week.
Look at the camera and say that again.
I would start Tyler Boyd over Mike Evans this week. Clip it. Short week.
Look, okay. Even if Tyler Boyd makes more points, that's not just something that you just throw out there. I don't understand that.
That's how I'm feeling, man. I know.
Off of a suspension. I mean, rested and healthy.
It's not even about the suspension. It's about how the offenses look. I'm a little bit worried about how Tampa's offenses look to begin the year, but.
Oh, the Bengals' offense just looked elite at the beginning of the year, too.
No, they haven't. I just like Boyd's role in that offense. It might be a little bit. I know it sounds a little bit wild, but that's just.
You're talking about Tom Brady, the GOAT.
That's the direction I'm getting pulled in right now.
I mean, look, I'm okay with starting Tyler Boyd, in your flex spot. In deeper leagues, yeah, I'm cool with that. He might not give you consistency all the time, but he can give you a consistent 10 points. And if that's what you're looking for, like the bottom of your flex spot, like in that league, I think it's 3 flexes.
Yeah.
And I have him at my 3rd flex spot. I'm more than happy starting Tyler Boyd in my 3rd flex spot. But to talk about Mike Evans over him, you can have that. Even if you win, you can win that one.
You don't care?
I'm starting Mike Evans over time. I would rather put my 3rd round pick in there than my
I get that. 11, I get that. I just like
I paid money for my 3rd round pick. Okay, I'm gonna start him.
I like the matchup. Last week we talked about panic teams we were worried about. 2 of them played each other this week. Raiders, Titans. They played out there in Tennessee, I'm pretty sure.
We gotta talk about the Broncos, too.
Yeah, we do have to talk about the Broncos, too. How do you feel now about the Raiders? Tennessee obviously got to win. I made fun of them that it didn't matter. They'd be 0-3. We wouldn't have to talk about them. They proved me wrong. 1-2, and they beat the Raiders team that I thought would get right, and they didn't.
I do think that the Raiders eventually figure it out, and I think they're going to do what they do every single year and make it somewhat of an okay season. But I am concerned now. I'm starting to get to that point. Derek Carr has not looked very good. He's looked very mediocre. Hasn't looked bad, but mediocre. People were really expecting him to take that step forward. I mean, we keep talking about fantasy, but I have a couple shares of him, so I'm kind of hoping he gets that, upgrade as well. But you have Devontae Adams, you have all the pieces around you, and we're still not winning games. I don't get it. I know the defense is giving. I know the defense is giving up points. It might be just a coaching issue. I hope they do figure it out. I do think that they eventually will figure it out, and they'll go on a little nice stretch, and we'll go back to this, and we'll be like, oh, they don't look terrible. But right now, they look bad. I don't know what my scale was. I think I gave them maybe a 4 or a 6.
Probably it was lower end for the Raiders.
So it was probably 4. So I'll go up to a 5 or 6 now. A little more concerned just because they weren't able to win against the Titans. Come on now.
Yeah, very concerning. Titans.
Who did Titans even have other than Derrick Henry?
Treylon Burks, the guy that you said is mini AJ Brown, looking a little bit better.
Hold up. I know I kind of said that.
You were joking. You were joking. I know. You were joking. They got Robert Woods, who showed out this week. He did play well this week.
Would you drop him in fantasy?
Who?
Robert Woods.
Drop him?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Somebody dropped him in one of our leagues.
They did?
Yeah, you didn't see it.
Where's my phone? Oh, my phone right there. I was about to go check waivers.
I'm not even playing. I think he He got dropped in one of our leagues.
I gotta go check.
He's probably about to get picked up on that Wednesday morning.
It's about the flag. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut this recording short if Robert Woods is out there on waivers.
You can have Robert
That's
Woods.
ridiculous, though.
I'm
play?
I'm like 95% sure.
I'm gonna double check, but that's crazy. Cause still a valuable receiver.
Man said I'm about to put 85 fab on it.
Nah, I ain't even got. In a lot of leagues, I've just been blowing money.
See, that's something I still feel like I haven't figured out yet. Is the fab spending.
It's all about where your team's at.
So I haven't spent a lot, and I think it's because I haven't really needed to. Not to sound like cocky, but I am spending. I'm about to spend a bag though on my 1-5 team.
Yeah, you might have to start adjusting.
I've started to spend a bag on this one, but on my other ones that I'm doing pretty good. I like the depth pieces I got. I'm keeping an eye on it, and I will put out some for some players I like, but I'm not dropping a bag on them. So I'm wondering if I should wait a little bit, let everybody else you drop bags, and then.
The thing is though.
Who's going to be available?
Who you're going to be stuck at the end of the year dropping a bag on Paris Campbell.
How did you do last week?
I did not check.
Oh, we should check.
But guess what?
Should I check right now? Is that
pull up.
Just so we can see?
Yeah.
Just so because you were talking to that mad trash.
Yeah, you know what's funny? The Colts won without Michael Pittman scoring a touchdown and without Jonathan Taylor scoring a touchdown. So I know Jelani Woods snapped, which I almost picked him up this year on waivers for the free in a league that I needed a tight end. I think it was Bash. How much did he go for?
What was the bet?
I said if he has 3 catches.
Damn. Yeah, 2 catches for 10 yards. I'm also going to check if Robert Woods is available.
Okay. I don't have to say much. We already know where Paris Campbell stands in my book.
I don't see him here. I'm just checking this league, and if it's not here, then I'm probably checking.
If there's Robert Woods on waivers, I need him.
I'll check later.
I don't have...
Oh, someone dropped Paris Campbell. You want to pick him up?
Hey, man. I don't get many things wrong. That boy. Not it.
Not it.
Not it. Zach Pascal was a better receiver for the Colts than his Colt career than Paris Campbell's been. Zach Pascal, who's with the Eagles now. Look, we looked ahead to the Jags. I know we're bouncing around a little bit, but I'm just feeling the vibes. Who do y'all play this week?
Steelers?
Yeah, not Cleveland. Y'all play the Jets. Ooh, how you feel about that game? Zach Wilson's first game back, by the way.
Is it confirmed? I know they were talking about it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
If it's his first game back, I feel a little better because he might be a little rusty going into it. The Jets haven't looked crazy. They've been looking solid though. Standing in some games. What happened last week? Did they win?
No.
No, they didn't because I remember Joe Flacco didn't play very well.
They played the Bengals and they lost.
But they haven't been looking terrible. They're a young, talented team. I'm assuming. I really hope that Kenny Pickett is probably going to be playing. But they haven't said anything. One thing I do know about Mike Tomlin, he is a lot like me in a way, where he likes to be patient with things, see how things really play out.
So you're Mike Tomlin?
I mean,
pretty much. I see the results.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my.
You guys are favored to win the game.
I mean, I would hope so.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm betting against you. If I feel like betting this week, I'm putting money on the Jets.
I wouldn't hate on it. I wouldn't hate that.
I think it is in what's your stadium's name now? It's not even Heinz Field anymore.
No, I'm calling it Heinz Field.
Yeah, it's in Heinz Field.
Yeah.
I don't care. Assurance, Azures, I don't care. Heinz Field. So that is something to monitor. But I'm feeling the Jets at positive money this week.
The thing is, for me, is I want to say that the Steelers will have a bounce back week.
Yeah.
You got some embarrassing L's back to back after a huge dub in the first week.
Correct.
If Mitchell Trubisky is starting, this would be a team to do at least decent. So
maybe, not really confident.
I'm not confident.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I have my confidence levels on my Steelers are very low right now, which I'm kind of okay with. I figured that going into the season. So, but I feel like this is one of the games that I wouldn't say it's a gimme, but it's one of your best shots to win a game. So I'm hoping that we do decent. If Mitchell Trubisky plays, we'll see what happens. I wouldn't hate you betting against us, especially if Kenny Pickett does play.
One thing I'm seeing is Breece Hall looks like he's about to start getting the first team touches. Yep. He's a great runner of the football. We saw what happened last week against Chubb. Obviously, different type of talent, but definitely ran all over the team. Sauce Gardner has been good to start the year.
He has been.
You put him on Deontay Johnson. We'll see how that works out for them.
Deontay Johnson would win that.
I think so, but nobody's really won against Sauce so far this year, which is kind of wild because he's a rookie DB. That doesn't usually happen. But I'd be willing to see it. It doesn't matter if he wins if nobody can get him the ball.
That's
to win all he wants. Right? He could be out there. Don't matter if no ball's coming. So we'll have to see.
Have we talked about
the catch? Nah.
We haven't brought it up yet?
Nah.
I haven't. Oh, I've done my team a disservice by not bringing this in.
Nah, it was...
No,
it was like...
It was... No, yeah, I was right. It was like a...
Yeah, he caught it like back here on the sideline, yeah.
This might be kind of a controversial
It's not, I agree with you. It's not, I agree with you.
You know what I'm about to say?
It's not, and I agree with you.
I think that
I don't care what anybody says. I agree with you.
I think it's a more difficult catch.
Call it recency bias.
Than what OBJ did.
Call it recency bias, but I 100% agree. I was looking at people like...
I don't think that's
Did
crazy.
we see? He was like parallel to the...
It was...
He was pretty much off the ground.
Freak catch. Because, look, don't get me wrong. No one's sleeping on OBJ's catch. That catch was amazing. But it was a harder version of it.
What you can say is, okay, the ball was traveling, different trajectory. It was further, so you know it was coming with more velocity.
Yeah.
Right? He also had the DB pass interfering all the way.
True.
So you could add all those factors, and it was for a touchdown. So if you add all those factors...
It was definitely more, I'd say, flashy, I guess, for OBJ. Yeah. But I do think when it comes to difficulty, I know that I like to joke around and say, well, I used to be a receiver back in the day. I was trash, but don't get me wrong. I feel like that would be way more difficult. I feel like I've had an OBJ catch at least once in my life. At least like one, not in game.
I don't know if you've
I didn't really play
the OBJ catch recently. Because you're making it seem like people make it seem like it's just easy. It was one of these. No,
okay,
it was like...
Let me take that back. Okay, I didn't have an OBJ catch. But it was still like this. But the thing is Kenny Pickett had the same type of catch, but like over here. George Pickens. Oh, Kenny Pickett can do that. Kenny Pickett can do that down his leg. No, you're right, George Pickens. Yeah, he had the same type of catch, but like back here, which to me, like that's just freakish.
We might have to throw them side by side at some point.
Freakish.
If I feel like doing crazy editing, I might throw them side by side. And we'll watch the highlight back to back.
Look, don't get me wrong. People are gonna. Some people might hear what I'm saying and think I'm tripping. I'm not saying that OBJ's catch was bad. It was definitely flashier. It looked cooler. I get all that. But I'm just saying when it comes to just
difficulty. I think it was.
I think that catch.
Watching it too, I felt the same. I'm not a Steelers fan by any means. But I was looking, I was like, that kind of looked low key harder than OBJ.
That looked hard, and I sent a video immediately to you and a couple other people of my reaction. I was going crazy. You should have seen me in my house when I was watching it.
That catch won me money too.
I went stupid.
That catch won me money too, so I was even double excited.
It was.
I don't know, man. I could get down with it. I could get down with it being more difficult. I have to watch them side by side again, but I could get down with it being more difficult.
Maybe I need to watch it again too. But I've seen OBJ highlights probably about 30 times in my life, so yeah. I feel like I've seen it enough times. I remember watching the memes after OBJ. You remember those? I remember there was one. This might not be kid friendly, but it was.
I like the purpose.
After you smash, and you said OBJ got your back when he got the. He got the
God!
It's like you got.
I saw that one. I saw that one where he reached back. Yeah,
that was back in the day.
Hey, it created a Drake lyric. He said, "Reach back like 1-3 until I hear Pickens' number or name called." Maybe in an NBA YoungBoy song or something.
Has to.
Right? Like, then we could probably even them out. Then maybe we could even them out.
Okay.
You randomly bring up OBJ. Now I'm thinking, what team should he play on this year? When he gets right. Because he looked good last year before the injury in the Super Bowl, obviously, but...
I mean, you got the obvious ones that need receivers. You know, like the Green Bay.
Yeah. But they're not playing for a championship. I don't think he should come back.
Romeo Dobbs, by the way.
Oh, yeah, definitely a waiver wire pickup I'm looking at.
I don't know if we want to talk about it later, but...
Yeah.
Keep an eye on him. Yeah, I don't know. Like the Green Bays, I think the Colts could use a second wide receiver. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think that... What?
They could.
Oh, I thought you said they didn't. I was like, well, they had Paris Campbell as the wide receiver, too. You better not...
Don't need much more.
I think that... Who really should go get him is Kansas City, in my opinion. You know, they got to just take a shot out there. Just see what happens. I'm sure they have. I mean, they got rid of Tyreek Hill to save some money, so I'd imagine they have some.
They have some cash space.
They have some cash
but
space.
They don't need to. I don't think he would go for that much of a bag anyway.
I don't think they would, and have someone like Patrick Mahomes throwing you the ball.
Why not?
I don't think that'd be crazy. So
why not?
I think KC.
I'm down with it.
I mean, I would be cool to see it, but I have Juju in the league, so I prefer not. But
actually, you would prefer, yeah. Why wouldn't you want Juju to get easier
you're
coverage?
Right. You're right. No, you're right.
Yeah, get OBJ out there because
right.
at minimum he's going to get the coverage. He might not produce because Rusty coming off the knee, but if he's getting the coverage, Juju's getting freed up.
That's the thing. How good do you think he's going to be?
I believe.
I mean, Sterling Shepard's out here. He looked pretty good after all of that crap that he's had. Achilles, ACLs, you name it. I feel like Sterling Shepard had it at one point.
Yeah.
So I feel like he could have a shot at it, but
there was room to recover for sure.
Was it? So it was both knees now, right? ACLs. So.
He's 29, bro. I don't dropped him in a dynasty league immediately. I was like, bro, it's dynasty.
Did someone pick him up?
The more I think about it, no, not yet. I'm not picking him up. I'll wait. Like, he's 29, and
is he labeled? I guess he's not going to be technically IR, right?
He will be. Yeah, he'll immediately be IR
if he gets on the team. So somebody, I mean, if
you could pick. Well, no, if you pick him up, you have to pick him up on your bench first and then put him in IR. Yeah.
But so you could stash him in your IR.
Yeah, you could list him. Yeah.
So why wouldn't you want? Why wouldn't you want to just keep an eye on him?
Ask Otto that. I wouldn't have dropped him in dynasty.
Then why haven't you picked him up if he's available?
Because I have to drop somebody on my bench to go pick him up to put him on, and then if I drop somebody on my bench that I like, I have to go get him back, and it's possible I won't get him back. So I'm not going to go through all that.
I'm asking these questions when I'm in the same league.
Yeah.
I could have done the same thing.
Yeah.
But
I was about to say, I'm not looking
but I don't want to really drop anybody.
to go through that effort. Yeah, like if it was I could pick him up and immediately put him in the IR slot, I would.
Unless you think I could drop Kendrick Bourne and no one else will try to get him.
I don't think I should, personally, drop Kendrick Bourne. Still young. Mac Jones might be out for a minute. So, like, maybe Brian Hoyer and Kendrick Bourne have this elite.
But we're talking about dynasty, though. So, I never really picked up Kendrick Bourne, and I haven't kept him on my team for this long just to see what he's doing right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm there to see some other stuff. If he gets sent to a different team, or whether or not he goes up on the depth chart. We're talking about Kendrick Bourne. Not many people care about him, but
I love Kendrick Bourne.
I like Kendrick Bourne.
Talking about, well, I haven't talked about NFTs in like a year, but NFL All Day has like an NFT project where you could like keep highlights and stuff. I love Kendrick Bourne. I have his rare highlight. I think it goes for like $100. I'm holding on to that thing. I'm a huge fan of Kendrick Bourne. Kind of right.
I hope he goes crazy.
Kind of right.
But the thing is I feel like I could drop him, and no one else would try to go get him. Would you go try to go get him?
Depending on what's on my team. I know Otto would try to go get him. Otto's a Kendrick Bourne fan too. He used to play for the Niners. So you'd have to worry about that, but like.
So that's what I'm trying to think about. Like, who else would I be willing to? I'll look at it later.
Worth a check. You said you wanted to talk about. There's somebody you want to come back to. Waiver wire pickups. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said you struggle with your fab, right? You say you struggle to pick up people and spend that money. What are 5 players that are possibly on waivers in most leagues that you'll blow a bag on? $50 or more. You have a $100 budget. You'd spend $50 or more for these teams.
Like on $50 on one player?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'd see myself doing that. I do that for Devontae Smith.
That's not a normal circumstance.
I don't know if I drop 50, but I get your point. Who would I be willing to drop a bag on? I would be looking at. Let me think. The Curtis Samuel, Jahan Dotson, one of those guys. If you like them,
they're gone. You know they're gone. Jahan Dotson maybe not.
Jahan Dotson maybe not. I would double
Curtis
check.
Samuel's gone.
I mean, it depends on your league, depending on how competitive.
Not Curtis Samuel anymore.
Okay, maybe
week 1 maybe.
All right then. Definitely some of the backups of the running backs that got injured this year.
Mm-hmm.
Or not this year, but this week. So you got I would go ahead and pick up Alexander Madison if he hasn't been picked up yet.
Which would be ridiculous if he didn't get drafted, but yeah.
Khalil Herbert, 100%.
Which we've seen him available in your league. Black and Yellow, he's in there. If you're aiming to get him, don't even bother.
You try to
go a bag. Nobody in that.
Maybe I have one pending right now for him.
I know how you spend. You don't spend like that. I'm kidding.
I think I got like 2 on him.
If you got 2, you might need to add a 0 or 2 to that.
You say that, but didn't you drop a bag on Taysom Hill?
No. It was like $16, maybe.
You dropped it down. No, you said that you... No. What did you originally do?
Not in Black and Yellow.
Okay, what about... You did... I know, and one of them...
They're differently, but yeah, those ones are like a $300 budget. It's different.
Oh, okay.
Those bags are built a little bit different.
Okay. Well, Khalil Herbert for sure. Who else? I would be surprised if Jamal Williams was on waivers, but if he is, I would drop a bag on him too, because even with DeAndre Swift there, he's shown that he could be at least viable.
And they said that's a minimum 5 weeks is what it's looking like for Swift. So
I heard, yeah. Who else would I be looking at?
Romeo Doubs. You mentioned him. Do you like him? Finally broke out, rookie. It looks like Aaron Rodgers trusts him. 8 targets, 8 receptions, which is big. He didn't have any drops. Scored a touchdown.
I think he's worth taking a shot on. For sure. I don't know if you could start him yet.
He's been touting him all offseason too, so finally watching that come through for him.
Yeah. Would you start it if you picked him up right now? Would you start him next week?
I have a team that I think I have him in my flex. I benched Darnell Mooney, and
that's something else that we should have mentioned.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Darnell Mooney right now?
They don't want to pass the ball. They're protecting Justin Fields a lot. They don't want to pass the ball at all.
So which doesn't really make sense to me.
How not?
They haven't thrown the ball much at all.
No. They're 2-1 though.
But they're not gonna be able to keep that up.
I thought so. I didn't think they'd get to 2 wins, to be honest.
But I think people keep forgetting that this is just 3 games out of 17.
Yeah.
So 2-1. Okay, we'll see how that looks in 5 weeks. I don't think in this league you gotta be able to throw the ball.
You would think, but it seems to be working perfectly fine.
No, you got to.
Right now.
Look, like I said, it's only been 3 games. I think that you have to be able to throw the ball. Lamar Jackson can throw the ball. Jalen Hurts can throw the ball. These are elite runners. Jalen Hurts spent the whole offseason to get better at this one specific thing. I'm not going to have...
Okay, so let me cut you off a little bit.
Okay.
It's not that Justin Fields can't throw the ball. They built a team around him specifically meant for him to not throw the ball.
Which is done. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so yes, he could technically throw the ball. I think Justin Fields, out of the 3 guys you named, is the most natural passer. Coming out of college. He was the most natural passer out of him, Lamar, and Jalen Hurts.
I agree.
Right? They just put pieces around him to make it very clear what the aim was. You didn't draft any of these receivers in this draft that were projected to be elite level talents. You took Velus Jones Jr. Do you know which team he played for in college? I'll give you $5 if you can tell me.
Okay.
I'll give you 30 seconds. I'll give you the conference. He played in the SEC.
Okay, that's actually a good hint.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking the fact that you asked me this question makes me think of like a Vanderbilt, Arkansas. Arkansas looks pretty good though. Last year, I mean they're not great, but they look okay. Dang, I can't really think of that many.
Exactly.
Can't really think of that many to begin with.
This is pretty bad, isn't it?
It's not those 2, right?
No.
Oh crap. SEC?
Yeah.
Shoot, Tennessee. Yes. Really?
I give you that. Yeah, he played for Tennessee. I think he was a 5th-year senior.
Wait, what was the bet?
$5. You won. I gave you way more than 30 seconds. But
no, that wasn't 30 seconds. That was exactly 27 seconds.
I'll put a timer up. But yeah, it was Tennessee. He was like a 5th-year senior. That was the wide receiver 1 they went out and got for Justin Fields in the 2nd round.
That to me is, I just don't like the idea of it. I mean, I need to watch a little bit more of the Chicago Bears. I've only been looking at highlights.
Just walk out the door, and they do not replace him with anyone in free agency. Who do they go get? Byron Pringle. Do you remember Byron Pringle?
I don't know Byron Pringle.
Yeah, that was who they went and got in
that
free
was
agency.
The wide receiver 4 on the Chiefs.
Yeah. Dante Pettis. Been cut from 2 teams now.
I don't even know who that is.
Got cut from the Niners, got cut from the Giants. This is the team of ragtag group of receivers they assembled for Justin Fields to throw the ball to. So from the jump, we should have known, oh yeah, they're not planning to throw this thing at all. Cole Kmet was supposed to be a godsend.
People were talking about Cole Kmet. People were talking about Darnell Mooney.
He has 6 points on the year.
I liked Darnell Mooney.
6 fantasy points on the year.
But I didn't love it. You tried. What was the trade that you tried to offer me? It was Darnell Mooney for
and a pick for Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
We both lose. It doesn't matter.
Why we both lose?
Jerry Jeudy hasn't produced either, really, this year.
Week 1? We're just going to ignore week 1?
He had a big week 1?
That man dropped 25 points.
Oh, yeah, he had 2 touchdowns. And then he had 12 points week 2.
He hasn't been bad. He was hurt second. He was hurt. And the fact that it's been such a bad offense and the fact that he even got 24 points makes me feel decent.
He didn't even have touchdowns. My bad. If he got 25, he had no touchdowns. Because they didn't score a touchdown, I think.
He did. So first game, he had that little I think that was like an 80-yard catch for
Yeah.
a touchdown. And then
Oh, we did. Yeah.
he had like 5 catches for like 110 yards. Second game, he got hurt like after the first quarter. And then this past game, it was a snooze fest. Nobody was really getting the ball. He still got some targets though, so I'm happy I kept Judy.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah. Darnell Mooney has been atrocious.
Bad.
It's been bad. But again, there's like 6 pass attempts a game, I feel like.
I think if you're an owner of Darnell Mooney, you should be worrying a little bit. But what I will say is when it stops working and they finally figure out the Bears and they're no longer going to be 2-1, because that's crazy, and they start losing, they're going to be forced to throw the ball a little bit more, which will open back up for Darnell Mooney.
Will it though?
I think so.
I think he's talented enough to win as a wide receiver 1.
I think he's talented enough to do decent. I'm not saying he's going to be anything spectacular, but we're talking about a flex spot. I don't think he's bad. As of right now, he is worrisome, but I don't think he's bad. He's not a wide receiver 1, but there's nobody else to throw the ball to. So if they do start throwing the ball and they do get forced into that position, who are they going to throw the ball to? Darnell Mooney.
You're right. There's like no Cole Kmet or anything like that either. I don't know.
Cole Kmet's
Hopefully you're not starting him. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, I didn't draft him anywhere, so I mean, if you have him, I'd bench him until you see something better. Maybe even sell him, to be honest with you. But I do think that at some point he will be decent. But that's the thing, decent. You might as well.
How do you feel about Matt Collins in terms of picking up players?
He's the one on the Raiders, right?
That snapped, yeah. People were high on him. Funny enough, in the bash, somebody picked him up and started him this week.
Really?
Yeah, picked him up, started him. Picked him up like game day, started him.
Good for him.
He's 3-0 in the bash right now.
Good for him. He must have known something we didn't.
He's balling.
He must have known something. I don't think he can keep it up. There's so many mouths to feed, and Hunter Renfrow was out.
Yeah.
So, would you pick him up on waivers? How much would you spend on him?
Not a lot.
If you had 100 fab, what would you do?
I'm not a big believer. Like
I just
$6, $7.
He's available in a couple of our leagues, and
I'm not chasing him at all.
I don't even really care.
That could be a clip. Like I don't even really care, and then he just proceeds.
If he keeps going, then I'll start caring. But I just don't see it. You got Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow. To sit here and think that he's going to do that on a consistent basis, that man's been in the league for like 8 years. I looked at his history to see what he was ranked out of all the wide receivers. I saw a lot of triple numbers, 120s, 150s. I think I saw like a 200 in there.
Oh,
cool. Good for him. I think he's going to be
good breakout. You think it's just a flash in the pan type thing?
I think so, but I think if you feel like you're weak on your team and your depth isn't really there, and like if you're 1-5, like I am in one of my leagues, I keep saying that people are going to look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
1-5. In other words,
you're 1-2.
1-2, I guess.
Yeah.
Actually, in other words, I'm like 0-3 because I don't think I've
you haven't won a game yet?
I don't think I've technically won a game. Ooh. I think I was just over the median. So I'm just going to start saying 0-3. I was 0-3 in a league. So if you're in that kind of situation and you think your team is buns, sure, take a shot on him, see what happens. But I'm not going to drop any of my guys.
At that point, you should just start playing for fun. Just like throwing in.
Yeah, you might as well just be like, throw like I think you said like a 12 on him or something. I know you said like 6 or 7, but I'm sure there's somebody that's going to be trying to get him. So throw like a 12 on him, see what happens. If Hunter Renfrow is out, maybe he's serviceable, but the thing is, Hunter Renfrow is not
projected to be out long. I don't think. No.
Yeah. So
Thursday night football, I got to bring the props out. I'm feeling the wide receiver props right now. Currently, the last time I checked, it was still pretty early. Okay. So we're talking wide receiver props. T. Higgins over 63.5 yards. Yeah.
Yeah.
You feeling
who are they playing?
The Miami Dolphins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The duo of Miami receivers, they're both their overs are in the 70s. I think.
Wait, hold up. Is Tua playing?
It's iffy right now. The last time that dropped was he was a limited participant in practice with a back injury and I think an ankle or something like that.
If Tua is playing and he's okay, I think it could be a shootout.
Me too, because I feel like tired defenses on a short week having to deal with Jalen Waddle and Hill on one side, which Tyreek already called out Eli Apple.
I saw that.
Yeah, and his line is 77.5. I already have a bet in for over. Right now I have him at 77.5 over, Waddle at 71.5 over, and I think Higgins at 63.5 over.
I like that.
Yeah, I think that's what I have cooked up right now. But
I think it's going to be a shootout. That's going to be a fun game to watch. 100% watch it. Yeah. That could be, like I said, first week, I'm not a betting man, but that's a game I would bet a little bit on something.
You play some of the props?
I'd put a Higgins over. I like Tyreek and Waddle over.
Yeah.
What else?
They have...
If Tua's healthy. If Tua ain't healthy...
They have Tua's line at 269.5.
If you're doing Tyreek and Waddle over, you might as well have...
You would think.
No,
but
you might as well.
The first week he got to 270.
Okay.
The second week he obviously went bananas. Got to like 459. The third week he got 186.
But he also had that.
I know, but he still played the whole game though. So like,
I think that if you're willing to bet over on Hill and Waddle, I think the chances and the percentage would be high for Tua to get it, because at that point, 70 plus
do the math,
70
it's
is like
140 something, and that's barely half of 269.5. So like, those two could hit easy. And Tua go for
I ain't betting on it. You're betting on it. So you tell me what you think.
269.5 is a little bit troublesome for me.
69.
It's a little bit troublesome for me. I don't know if I could pull the trigger on that one. He's done it 2 out of 3 games. I don't know if I would guarantee.
I wonder if there's like a Chase Edmonds receptions line. I've been liking a lot of the receptions.
Yeah, I like those a lot too. When I was looking, not yet, but I do plan to look again. I have some money left over from what I won on Monday night, so I'm gonna look again and see what the lines are. I wouldn't mind a Chase Edmonds.
If it was like 2 or 3, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah. They had Saquon's at 3 last night.
I think it's gonna be such a shootout. I think there's gonna be plenty to go around to give to the running backs. I do think that the Bengals defense and the Dolphins defense are gonna put a lot of emphasis on the receivers, obviously, because it's a lot of 2 of the best wide receiver cores in the league. Yeah. So I think a lot of those little dump off passes might work out. At least a few times. So
I just realized it's Chase and Higgins on one side and Waddle and Hill on the other side.
Yeah, let's talk about this real quick. What do you think is the better duo?
Right now, the production speaks for itself. It's Hill and Waddle, and I wouldn't say that going into the year.
I'm saying like as a whole, it doesn't have to be right now. Like if you could be an owner of...
Oh, give me Chase and Higgins then.
For the rest of you.
Oh, I thought you were saying owner of a team. And like,
I'm saying like
build a team.
If you had to pick like 2 of those players right now to have for the rest of the season, would you rather have
Hill and Waddle for the rest of the season? If I'm starting a franchise though, Chase and Higgins, because I like their age, I like their build, but I feel like Hill just gives me an element that you don't get very often, and then to pair him with somebody else who has the possession receiving ability, who's a little bit bigger but still runs like a 4.3.
It's a tough one because for me, if you throw Tyler Boyd in there.
Well, yeah, if you throw Tyler Boyd in there, then if you're taking the whole receiver core, then yeah, I have to take...
Taking the Bengals?
Yeah, on both occasions. Because the wide receiver 3 for Miami is Cedric Wilson. Have you seen him yet on the field? I've been looking for him. Can't find him.
I haven't been looking for him. I've been looking at 10, just going crazy. And number 17, going crazy.
I think that's the coldest TV celebration in the world. The Waddle.
It is nice. If you're a Dolphins fan, you're living life right now.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
This is probably peak life for you right now.
So I talked to a Dolphins fan recently, and he said 13-4 or 14-3 was what he saw them going for the rest of the year. And to begin the year, I was like, we have a Miami Dolphins prediction. I had them at 8-9. I know. I'm already having to go back on my word. I'm saying 10-7 is what I rectified it to, like 10-7 minimum. But I could easily see it being like a 12-5.
You remember what I said?
What?
I think I said 10-7.
Yeah. Chris also is reported saying 10-7. So
I think I said 10-7 because I thought that the offense would have been good enough for Tua. Not good enough, but he has the weapons.
The weapons would be good enough, yeah.
And the defense is nothing to slouch about. So, what about the Bills? You concerned about them?
No. They were missing 3 DBs, 3 of their starting DBs. Tre'Davious White out. I think Jordan Poyer, whatever his name, out. Like, literally, their best DBs were out. What?
I think Jordan Poyer's out for the season.
That's a tough blow. Yeah. right? They were down to 4 active wide receivers, so they were not rotating their receivers in and out of the game. It's Miami Heat.
Stephon Diggs kept on having
cramps. It happens, and they lose by 2 points. All of that had to happen
with
for
a
them
good
to lose by 2 points.
with a good matchup too. So yeah,
it took a lot for them to lose the game. I'm not worried about it necessarily. If they get healthy, they get back right. I'm okay with it. I don't really have any issues with it. Thursday night, I'm super excited for the props. I'm taking the overs on ones that I've mentioned.
Because I know Sleeper gave like a free
$10, yeah.
First week.
You hit, didn't you?
I hit.
Yeah.
So I want to say I have like $5 or $10 left.
Sleeper's lines are a little bit different though. Actually, not even a little bit. Like a lot of it. Sometimes it's like a 4 or 5 yard difference on some of these lines. So like something to pay attention to.
I don't know if I would download. Is it an app for anything else? Yeah. I'll just stick with Sleeper.
Get me a free 25.
If I join it?
Yeah. Get me a free 25.
Do I have to do anything with it?
With my link. Huh?
Do I have to do anything with it?
Like put $5 on there, $10
on there. So
I know. Depressing.
That's
crazy.
But if I put $5 in it, I can bet it.
Yeah.
At least, so I can at least put something.
You would get 25 too. I think we both get 25 if you.
Why don't you lead with that? That means it's a $20 profit.
Yeah.
But I have to invest the 5, and then I have to put.
I think 5 is the minimum, or 10 is the minimum.
Okay.
But at that point,
we can talk about it.
I was about to say, at that point, if we both get 25, I'll send you $10 to put on there, and then I'll get $25. I'm still $15 up.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's not the end of the world.
Which, by the way, we haven't done a bet between me and you yet.
For this one?
We didn't do it for the last 2 weeks. Because first week, you scared.
Wait, no, first week we did one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That took a dub. So you scared? Why haven't you
We made a bet last week on camera, but we didn't do one like for a thing.
What did we bet on camera?
You have the Titans beating us this year for $5.
I forgot that.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
I'm glad there's video proof.
That's crazy.
And you were talking spicy too.
That's crazy.
Saying that, they're not good, but at least they're going to beat us.
That's crazy.
We put the SmackDown 30-10 on the Chargers, and now we quiet and we forgot about the bet.
Let's talk about week 1 though, and how I took it.
Yeah, let's talk
we'll see. Yeah, okay, I'll stick with that bet. Yeah, what should we bet though this week? If Tua's healthy, you want to bet on the who you got, Dolphins or?
I was leaning
Bengals.
Dolphins.
I was on Bengals.
I was leaning Dolphins, but I don't like the injury. I prefer to bet on your team. I prefer to take the Jets against y'all. I do.
I don't even know if I want to bet on that. I love my team.
That's wild.
I love my team.
You don't want to bet on Pittsburgh against the Jets.
Look, here's
we get a second appearance from Lils.
Look, I love my team to death. I really do. But the thing is money. I don't play with my money either.
$5. You don't love your team enough for $5?
I like winning.
Okay. I thought Pittsburgh did too, but apparently not.
Pittsburgh is my favorite team. I love them to death. I'm a diehard fan, but I like my money too. So I'm not gonna bet on it. Give me another matchup.
Oh my
Who's playing Sunday night?
Ooh, we should take Monday. Rams Cardinals. I got Rams. Okay, but they're underdogs on betting. The Rams are underdogs right now.
That's crazy.
Right, free money. They're giving money away.
I don't know about all that. Shoot, who's playing Sunday night?
I don't know. There's a game in London. Is that the Jets Pittsburgh one?
I know you're talking about. I forget who's playing.
There's a game in London. I don't know who it is though. I think it's Minnesota versus somebody actually, and Minnesota are underdogs.
You know what we should bet on?
What?
The Eagles versus the Jags.
Ooh. Because you like the Eagles?
I like the Eagles.
Well, unlike you, I'm a homer. So like, I'm worried about my team, but I'm willing to put 5 on my Jags.
All right.
I am worried about my team, but I'm willing to bet on my team.
All right, you heard it here first. I'm taking the Eagles. He's taking the Jags.
You heard it here first. Yeah, $5. I'll do it.
You can go ahead and send it to me now if you want. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
If we beat the Eagles, I will be unbearable next week.
If you beat the Eagles, okay. If you guys beat the Eagles, I'm trying to think of something I'm willing to do.
You can't come up with nothing. I know you're not supposed to.
I'm like thinking, what would I be willing to do?
Exactly.
Not really anything, to be honest.
I will be unbearable. You guys could not talk to me. I might not talk the whole episode if we beat the Eagles. I might just sit here with a cigar and a championship hat, like we already won the Super Bowl. If we beat the Eagles next week in Philly, if we go back to back on the road after losing our last 12 games on the road, beat the Chargers, and then the 3-0 Eagles. Couldn't talk to me. It'd be over. Couldn't talk to you.
The thing is, yeah, I'm going Eagles. I'm pretty confident with that too. I could see them though.
I don't want to hear we could see them.
Eagles are so on fire. They're due for like a slow week, but nah, I'm going Eagles.
They're due for a slow week. Have you seen how this team's played?
You're right. So are the
There's
Jags.
no way.
So the Jags could have a slow week, but they already had theirs.
We did have ours already. Hey,
Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence.
Right now, yeah. But I'm going to close the episode out with this. There has been a very, very hot take. I don't know if you watch Nick Wright. This man said he would prefer to have Trevor Lawrence over Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, and like somebody else. It was egregious. And I am a Jags fan. And this man was like, the prince has arrived. He's finally here. And I take him for like the next 10 years over Lamar, Justin Herbert. I know. That was my reaction.
No.
He did that for clicks.
All three of those guys, no.
He had to have done that for clicks. There's no way he did that on purpose.
I'm sorry. I mean, don't get me wrong. After seeing what I've been seeing with Trevor Lawrence, I'd be feeling good about some. Like maybe like a Trevor Lawrence over Derek Carr.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay,
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence over
Justin Fields. Trevor
Fields,
Lawrence over
100%.
Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence over Zach Wilson. Trevor Lawrence over Jimmy Garoppolo. Trevor Lawrence over Russell Wilson. Trevor Lawrence over Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence over Cooper Rush.
I gotta put a little hole on the Russell Wilson.
Nah, I'm not. 3 games in.
Disrespectful.
Don't care.
We didn't even talk about the Broncos, but
They don't need to be talked about. You scored 11 points against the San Francisco 49ers.
They won though.
Yeah, they did. Yay. I'm pretty sure
defense is looking good.
I'm pretty sure we outscored the Broncos almost entire season last week. Because they put up 16 week 1. How much they put up week 2? They scored like maybe 40 points on the year. Maybe. And we scored 38 last week.
But I mean, we're talking about the rest of the season. We're talking about like prime time. We're talking about Super Bowl, playoffs. Russell Wilson's more proven.
You think he gonna make the playoffs?
They're 2-1.
They don't look good.
They don't look good, but they're 2-1.
I don't think the AFC West is gonna put out 4 playoff teams like I was talking about before.
Oh no, with the Raiders acting the way they are, the Broncos.
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be Chiefs, and if Herbert could get healthy enough, the Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers are kind of shaky.
I know.
I mean, it's because just Herbert.
I mean, they looked great week 1, and then they played the Chiefs week 2, and he got injured at the back end. And they could have easily won that game. They just, Chargers being the Chargers.
Yeah.
Right? And then they played us, which I wouldn't want to play us. So I understand that loss. But
I really hope the Eagles.
He was also hurt.
I really hope the Eagles smack y'all.
Hey,
I'm tired of this energy.
You need the $5, and that's okay. I still believe in my team.
I do need it. I do need it.
You know what's funny? I would have bet against us beating the Jets.
Do you have a Jags jersey?
Nah.
I was going to say if I lost the bet, I could have worn a Jags jersey.
You could have, but I don't have a Jags jersey. You could put this helmet on your head like this and balance it the whole episode.
We should come up with something like that.
We should come up with something.
Something like if you have a good week and I have a bad week. It looks like you're gonna.
You have a lot of bad weeks.
Looks like I'm about to have a lot of bad weeks.
Bad weeks.
But no, maybe about the bets.
These lights are gonna stay teal for a long time. I think.
Maybe our bets could be what we talk about. So obviously we're throwing like a 5 down or whatever. Something small.
Still can't believe you won't put 5 against the Jets. That's wild. Your defense. Y'all beat the Bengals week 1, and you can't put 5 against the Jets, and y'all at home? I'm going into Philly, one of the toughest crowds to play in front of.
Hey, that's your own fault.
And I'm putting 5 on it because I rock with my team.
That's your own fault for betting.
You're at home. Y'all are sleeping in your own beds. Wow, that's disrespectful. You changed my lights. We won, and you changed my lights.
Hold up.
Nah, the deed's been done.
Oh! There we go.
There we go. We're back. Right? We go into Philly, playing one of the toughest crowds, playing one of the toughest teams, and I'm still willing to ride with my boys. Y'all play the Jets.
No, don't get me wrong.
You're scared of Zach Wilson.
Don't get me wrong. I'm riding with my boys. You're talking about me betting money. I'm like 10-1 with you when it comes to bets.
So scared to go 10-2.
I'm more interested in going 11-1 than going 10-2. I love my Steelers right now. I love them.
Not enough.
But what am I supposed to be excited for, really? Mitchell Trubisky? Mm-hmm. Are you telling me I'm supposed to be excited about Mitchell Trubisky?
Fitzpatrick.
You're right. I am excited about it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of pieces that I'm excited about, but that offense is looking atrocious. It looks so bad.
It does.
It looks awful.
Yeah. I don't see much sense in getting better until we play Kenny Pickett.
That's the thing. That's why I'm like, why would I bet a 5 on? That's just me giving you a free 5.
I might be giving you a free 5.
You are giving me a free 5. But at least you're 2-1 looking impressive. I'm 1-2 looking like sad.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. Vegas has us as plus 240 odds to win, which is, you don't know much about betting yet, but that means...
Don't say yeah. I'm not
No, you'll know what it means. You're not going to bet, but you'll know what it means over the next 10, 12, 15 weeks of us talking about football. They don't think we have a chance pretty much to win this game at plus 240.
It's a tough matchup.
But guess what we were last week against the Chargers?
What?
Plus 240. Just saying.
This man feeling different.
They didn't expect us to win last week.
Different.
Hey, shout out to Chris. I know we talked about it already. Chris had a 6-team parlay. He picked 6 correct teams to win. Put $15 on it. Guess how much he won?
$200.
$1,230.
Like 1,000 Tuesday?
Yep.
Sheesh.
Yeah, and he had my Jags boys in there because he knew what's up. So that helped boost how much he would win. He was waiting on Cowboys last night to beat the Giants to win his money. So Cooper Rush did it for him.
See, how much did he put down?
$15.
That's it.
He put 15. So he had Jags, Cowboys. He had Denver, I think. He had another team, maybe Cincy. He had 6 teams in there. I have to look. He put it up in the video that should be going up probably tomorrow that he's working on right now. So at the end of the video, he'll have that ticket up. But yeah, it was a 6-teamer, $15 to win $1,230.
I don't even know. That's the reason why I don't want to bet too much. Is I already get real competitive about fantasy football. I still want to like enjoy watching football. Like I still want to enjoy looking out there and be like, oh wow, this one team is winning. The Jags are winning. That's crazy. And I like, oh, damn it. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to be like that. But I don't know. We'll see.
Last year I put $1 on like a 15-teamer and I won. It was like a 15-team like spread thing and I won, but it wasn't for that much. It was like $200 off $1. Jeez. It wasn't bad, but
$200 is like my paycheck.
So $5. Stop it. $5. Philly versus Jags. That's what we doing.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll see y'all next week on Teal and Steel when I'm $5 richer. Me.
Clip it.
There is no way. If we win this game, Matt might not even come over. He knows what's up. He think the energy annoying now.
Nah. I'll pull up. I'm not scared. I'll pull up.
I'll put money on the Jags Super Bowl appearance if we win next week. That's how I'm feeling. I'm already upset I didn't put money on us winning the AFC South. Because it's happening now, and I missed out on that money. I also said we were only going to win 5 games this year on the Jags.
Yeah, we should go to the YouTube channel and look at the Jags projections. Yeah. And also, there's another one where you were real disrespectful to your Jags, like real disrespectful. Hold on, it wasn't even a Jags video. It was like one of the teams facing the Jags.
Oh yeah.
And I forgot exactly what you said.
Baltimore.
You were like, "Oh, it's gonna be a real close game. You know, really excited to see this. I think we might be able to keep it within 40 points."
Yeah, it was against Lamar, which you see how Lamar playing these days. Am I wrong on that one? You think?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay.
But no, it's not.
Okay.
Let's not act like you didn't say it. So don't.
I did.
You're getting real excited right now, but you were on that energy too.
Sometimes I could be wrong. Sometimes it feels good to be wrong. I've never felt as good to be wrong as I do right now. Jags, AFC South winners for 2023 or 2022-2023 season. Shouts out to Doug Peterson for turning the franchise around. You know he's the 5th winningest coach in Jags history now, with 2 wins. I think that's a good spot to end. Thank y'all for tuning in to Teal and Steel episode 3. We're gonna keep this thing running. We'll see y'all next week. Bet on that T. Higgins 63.5 over. Bet on that Jalen Waddle 71.5 over. Bet on that Tyreek Hill 77.5 over. This is not financial advice, but you can go ahead and do that. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Bye.